live. Okay, so we're going in the same place at Add Content button, and this time we're choosing a tool node. And here we have a different editing form. Of course, you will have some mandatory fields, like the title and the body are the mandatory fields. So let's use an example. Randomly chose this this tool from your current website. What I strongly encourage is that you don't use all letters in or large letters in majuscule. Just because the font is big enough, you don't need to emphasize it with the the majuscules. So just use the normal typing. You would want to have an icon for the tool. If you remember, we decided that each tool would have an individual icon. You have the instructions here. Once you have the subscription, we will connect it to the latest version of Font Awesome. But for now, you have this version 4, and let's just choose whichever one you Explorer, and you would copy what's after FA tire, right? So just this name, because we'll update these instructions here, but the newest versions don't use this prefix anymore. So this is why the instruction is valid for version 4. So just use the name from Font Awesome, and it's enough for it to show on the page. Okay. Good. Then let's use a summary for maybe not the whole text here. It's quite large, but it's completely up to you what you use in the page. I'll try to keep it short, just to show you what the summary is looks like, and what the body. I'll actually only take the first paragraph. Okay, and you'll have the body, which is also in WYSIWYG editor. If you remember, Sunho, in your template, you mentioned videos will come up more and more. So it's the place where you will be adding the videos in the first part of the tool in the introduction. And then let's find a solution for presenting the tracker. Just let me save it for you, just to show you what it looks until now, because the other sections that are optional use the whole width of the page. So this is on 2 columns. Here you will have the outline that is populated automatically. Once you start adding sections below the body, the section type will automatically come up here. Also, in this column, you will have a related event if you want to reference one. The box with who you are, who's the team who's been working on this tool, and you can I suggest you would have a general description for the tools where you don't want to name specific people. Maybe have a short paragraph, a description of the Food Security Portal team that has worked on the tool. So it's better not to leave this space empty. You'll have to juggle with this space depending on the text you'll want to add in the body, right? If here you'll have longer text or video embeds or large content, you don't want to keep this column empty, right? So here you have a few options.
So the summary, if you click summary, go to summary, right?
Yes, but it's the other.
Okay.
The other ones, because summary is always next to the summary, so it doesn't have a behavior.
This is based on anchor, right? This is the anchor function on HTML.
Yes, I saw your question, and I didn't forget to answer it, but I mentioned I'll answer it in our call, and you'll see that clicking the outline does. So let's actually add more sections to this page so we can see the. Right. So now what you have and can occupy the full width of the page are called sections. And these sections have more the types of content. As what we discussed in our brainstorm during mock-ups and design phases, we provided you with a few options that you can use and adapt your content to one of these types of sections. For instance, you would use media embed for any section where you have to show a visualization, right? Be it Tableau, high charts, or anything. If you want to add an iframe, or even an image or a video that you want to add here. So here you have three options: image, iframe, and video. Your most used case is an iframe, right? And we'll add it in just a second, but we have to give it a title. And for this tool, it can be tracker, right? Or the tracker. And you have a short description here so that your users, your visitors know what they're looking at. And for adding this beauty here, so this is a Tableau embed, right? So this is a part where it gets a bit technical for me. I'm sure Sunho is comfortable with this. Brandon, let me know if you have any questions. So in order to pick up the iframe link from here, Sunho, what I've done is that I'm going to the full Tableau page, right? And Tableau has some specifics about how to use this iframe, and we have put the instructions are in the procedures here. Brandon, if you're not familiar with it, if you go to the procedure on embedding a chart, I think, yes, here you have a link to to Tableau's instruction on how to edit that link in order to be embeddable in that field. Sunho, if there's an easier way, please, by all means, teach us. But so what I know so far, and the solution I have so far for Tableau at least, is copying this link here. Sorry, Brandon. So I click this button to share. I'm copying the link here. Oh, sorry. I lost it.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. No, I think Tableau needs to refresh.
Okay.
Getting back to I'm copying the link, so not the embed code. I'm copying the link. And here, what I did as an exercise, I added the link into an editor. And then, according to Tableau's instructions, you need to add these two little pieces of text, and you'll add them by, just a second, and stop, up, another one, and the second one. Sunho, if there's an easier way, and you want to spare Brandon, I've already done it a couple of times, so I'm familiar with it. But Brandon, if not, you can watch this video again and use these instructions to be able to generate the link. Here, add new media item there. The iframe link, the iframe URL that you'll need. The caption that you want to, I'm not sure if you have now a caption, but if you don't, it's not mandatory, but let's put a caption for the sake of the exercise so you see what it looks like. Let's say food export restrictions. Food export restrictions. The source, if you want to name a source, or if you want to give the Tableau link. Let's say Tableau source. And you have,
sorry.
Yes?
Yeah, it looks like Brandon will have to rely on the video. He's off and on.
I'm
Yeah.
glad we're recording this because my internet's terrible.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I think
It's true that the tool.
I can help out later.
It's true that the tool pages.
I'm glad we're recording this. I can just go back. Yeah.
Good. It's true that the tool page is a
Alright.
bit more convoluted than the article page because it has more diverse content, right? You want to be able to showcase here more diverse content. So, okay, so I'll click the create media item, which will actually create, sorry, will create this section in the page, right? So let's get to save to see what are the changes that we've added. So now we have a new section in the outline. You can see you have a behavior. If you hover over, I think Radu used the same teal as in the logo. I hope you like it. So it has a soft scroll to the tracker page. So what you have in this new section under the body, you see the title, the description, the embed itself with the caption, right? So this is the caption. What it's not yet, and it's under construction, are the embed and view large buttons. Remember, I can show you on Sketch, you would have two buttons for articles as well, but for tools as well, you'd have the buttons to embed and enlarge. Sorry, again, this is taking too much time to load due to me sharing the screen. Okay, but it can go back to that. Okay, so we've created a new section, which is a specific section for adding your visualizations. But you can add more visualizations within the same section, right? So you don't have to create a new section if, for instance, the tracker has more visualizations needed or created by you. So you just added the section, and here in the choose a media embed option, you would add a new media item. Right? And you can have 2, 3, or because I saw there are tools where you have more than one embeds in one section, and this is multi-entrance, so you can add here, like we did before, another iframe, and it would show right below. Use the caption and the source to reference information about your visualization. Now I'm just going to cancel this. And show you what other kind of sections you have. Let's just go back a bit to the tool to see what kind of content you have. You have data, so you have text and cited suggested citation. Let's see how we can fit that in. What you have in sections as well is the collapsible panels. If you remember, you have the template Sunho showed with us had quite a few scenarios that had to be described, and you had an option to write them into a collapsible panel so that you can compress them and not show the whole content every time. Here, if you remember, these collapsible panels will do this trick for the tools where you have this content that applies. So likewise, you have a title and a short description of the section to explain to the visitor what she is looking at, and then within the panels, you have for each panel you have, let's say, test panel number 1. Okay, testing. Add panel. We'll have test panel number 2. Testing 2. Let's add one more so it looks like it has content. Lino. Okay. All right, so I can collapse this. I see. Sorry, why is it showing? It's not saved. Yeah, let me save it. Sorry. What did I miss? Oh, okay. Scenarios, description. Okay. And now we have a third section that shows in the outline below. And there you go. You have the title of the section, the description, and the panels. It can add up. Okay. Let's see another type of section that you can add is the key findings. So key findings require that you have icon for each key finding, but commonly with the other section you would have the title of the section, which can be key findings or anything else if you choose to. Description for key findings, and then you would add each individual key finding with an icon, a title, and a description. Likewise, we'll be choosing an icon from Font Awesome. What's after the prefix? Just spacing the name, and I have key finding 1. Description of key finding 1. I want to add another key finding. I'm going to pick a different. I know, Brandon, it looks like a lot of work, right? But
Yeah, it looks good.
But you can rely on us for help if you have any trouble, if you run in any dilemmas. Now we have a fourth section in outline that scrolls here. I still think we have a bit of the behavior because the scroll goes too low. It should go up until and see the title. I know Radu fixed this before, but I think it's my cache that wasn't refreshed. So the key findings, title, description, and let's call it the boxes for key findings with the respective icons.
I have a question. So how many key
Yes.
finding, I think it's unlimited, right? So if we, and then if I say 8 key finding, how they make a layout, like a 2 rows and 4 columns, or like we have, let's say,
No, it's 3 columns. 3 columns. So you'd have 3, 3, and then 2 if you'd have 8.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
And the limit?
we cannot change the layout, right? So let's say I can
No,
want to make
no.
4 by 2, something like that. No, okay.
No, we can't change layout. But as far as the limitations go, I don't think you have a limitation into how many. Let's see if I'm allowed to just add them without content. I don't think there is a limitation, but I can ask if you just to confirm.
Yeah, I mean, if we can give us some freedom to make how many row and how many column to us, that would be great. But it's not necessary. It's not. I mean, it's not main.
I'm pretty sure that's not possible. I mean, it's not a content where you choose how many columns you have. It's like in the design, we're going for whatever fits best into the width of the page. Okay. Okay, and one more. Yes.
A quick question.
Mhm.
Is the okay, great. So the title key findings is editable, or for that
This is-
section, or
These names here are some generic names that would guide you through how to choose a section depending on the content you have. But the title itself, you can write whatever you want here. So
yeah,
here
of
is
course. Okay.
Brandy's choice here. It's so this is the name of the section type. The title
Okay,
you'll
on the
give
back end. Yeah.
it's completely up to you.
Perfect. Great. Thank you.
Okay. And then we have one more type of section that can be added is an organization list that we envisioned for the partner section, right? So if you remember in the partner section, you wanted to have logo, text, a title plus link to the website of the partner, right? So you would have here, let's say maybe it doesn't apply for this tool. Scripts of. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Here it's the name of the section. So you'd have partners. So we thank our partners for their support, right? This is the introduction of this section, and then when you add a source, it's called source because it's the same module used as in source of the article. You would have here let's put just a random link. Let's choose the logo. But it's mandatory, right? So the section is it's optional. Sorry, it's mandatory. It's optional. The logo is optional as well. But we would create a new section in the outline. Partners. See Brendan's choice. And then partners here you have a whole you can use the whole width of the section to enter the text, and they would go one below the other like we discussed.
You can switch to the order of the session, right?
The order of the sections or of the partners, you mean?
The sections, like I can put.
Oh, the sections, yes.
Tracker on like number 4.
Yes.
Partner number 2.
Let me show you.
Yeah.
So here you see all the sections you've created, and you just pick up this little arrow, and if you want the key findings up top or organization list, yeah, it's completely interchangeable. Right, let me see what else I wanted to show you. So this is for, yes, one more thing. Let's see why I don't. Yes, the feedback, sorry. If you, the feedback field there is optional. If you don't want to show it, you don't have to, you can delete it. By default, we set it up to be present in the page because it was our understanding that you wanted it. But it has, you can either put in an email address so that when it clicks, it opens to a new message for the visitor and sends you an email address. Or if you want to, let's see, send the visitor to your form, to your feedback form. Let's change here. Share your thought, your say feedback. Yeah, this form. Okay. So it's up to you if you still want to use this form, if it's still relevant, or you'd want user to go to open a message and send you a message. It's probably less luring to write an empty message than to complete a form, but you have these options. Okay. Now, let me show you that on the sidebar. So what's next to this body that you've written here. As I mentioned, the outline is mandatory, and the related events blogs will be generated automatically. So the reference would actually be within an event. Events not having been created so far, I can't showcase you right now, but when we get to events, I'll show you that you can reference one or several tools to an event, and then the event card would show in this sidebar, right? Just like the one you'll have on the home page, right? A card for that event with link on it and date. and an image. But this ones, they're automatically generated, right? Depending on the references that you create. However, you can, you have maneuver there in that space to add a box about who you are. Say we want to add this, this citation, for instance. To add a box about the team who's been working on the tool, and let me just save it and show you what it does. And you have a widget where you can add buttons here, who we are.
Is it possible to change the who we are, the name of the who we are?
Yes, I don't think that should be a problem. What do you want to change it into?
Like give us some, like as a previous case, if we give like a title and box, and we can type anything we want, it based on the example, this
Okay.
instead of who you are, we just put the suggested citation, something like that. But I mean, it depends on the cases.
I understand. So change who we are to title field plus body. Okay. And the external links, the way you should look at them is that they're actually buttons that will lead your visitors to further exploration of the tool, right? So the title doesn't have to be external links. You can say underlying data, and you can write a short description of it and add as many links you want. For instance, in the case of this page, I noticed you have a download button somewhere. Let me just check. I think it was directly on the IFPRI. Yes, you have download data. I'll just use this link to show, to put here, and I'll say download data. And then I want to add another item that says read full report. You have flexibility here to add links and references to whatever is relevant to the tool, right? So it doesn't have to be just these ones, but when maybe you have a larger tool and many content within the tool, instead of creating a separate section for that specific, maybe you would link it here as a button, sorry. Right. Let me see. I think that was pretty much what I wanted to show you. I believe now the challenge, Brandon, for you and for Suho, who is going to help you, is to adapt the content of the tools you have on the website, because they're not two alike. They're all different in content. To adapt them to the options you have, and you have some flexibility to. For instance, the COVID food price has many embeds. You would use many sections on it. This tool, for instance, I'll be doing it. So leave this one to me, because I'll embed this new widget that you'll have with the boxes corresponding to the design, the same as on the homepage. So okay. I'll do this. This tool page for you. Look here, for instance, you have videos that you can put in the body, right, in the introduction of the tool, if you want to. If not, you can put it lower in a section. Likewise, you use media embed and choose video. Here you had media embed and the options for the sections. Here I choose media embed, and it doesn't have to be an iframe, which is usually, well, most of the times the case, but you can even have an image or a video image. Consider using an image when you have, I don't know, maybe a screenshot of a more complicated flow, or something that's more illustrative in an image that you don't have other option maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think your challenge now is to look at the content you have for each tool and find a section that corresponds to illustrating that content. If you need help at any point and maybe wonder, hesitate between two types of sections, you can ask me. You can look at that
Okay.
and find the best solution.
Lavanya, I have a few questions.
Yes.
So if we go back to the Photoshop report right now, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
If we go to the early warning menu,
Yes.
and then click it, and then that visualization right now here, the zeros one,
Mm-hmm.
that one we cannot use in iframe. They only allow us embed the JavaScript and then the CSS. CSS. So maybe because we already discussed this in one, but maybe you might allow us to use other embedding way, not only for iframe.
What we found as a solution is to create a new section type here.
Oh, okay.
So you would have a section type that would allow you like full HTML or even more. I'm not sure what the name is, so that you can, because you gave us an example, remember, for a tool. Yes, and then you can add this. It's on our to-do list
Okay.
as well.
Thank you. And then
Do you
mhm.
will you prioritize this so that I know when you'll be needing it?
So I think the early warning system hub is going to be a part of the tool, right? Brandon, just correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
that
Yes.
is a part of the tool. So he going to work on this one as soon as possible.
yes, of course. This one has to fit into a tool page. I'm just wondering, in order of priority for you, from all the tools you have, if this lands in top priorities, or it can come a bit later. By a bit later, I mean late next week, not in December.
Brandon, do you have any
Yes.
idea?
Um,
Priority.
I suppose those COVID related. Well, I mean, all the other tools I can just use the template. It's only that one. So, is it in relation to like the early warning systems? I'm sorry, to the food price variability tool, or
No, it's
compared to everything else?
No.
it's only for the Ceros. Ceros does not provide iframe. That's why.
Right. But I mean, like, is it priority of that page in comparison, in relation to this page, for example, or?
It's not related. I mean, this one can be done. I mean, without your input, I'll be working on it. So you just look at what's your priority in terms of the order you want to show the tools. But for the sake of the soft launch that Rob needs in a week or so, what you'll be showing as tools are the 4 tools on the home page. I'll better show it here. It loads faster. You'll have to have at least 4 tools to reference them here,
Yeah.
right?
You
And then
have a tool for COVID-19 page.
exactly. And on the COVID-19 page, you have a list of relevant tools that you'll have to add there. So if those are the page will be live by then, so you would need to show primarily the tools related to COVID-19. And this one that I'm doing, the excessive food price variability, goes here. So right on top of under the boxes. The COVID-19 page has a collapsible panel with relevant tools. So I think you would need at least 3 or 4 of them here,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Well, then I suppose the hub would be slightly lesser priority. But I always thought the early warning systems hub might, like for example, how would I add the, I can reach out to you separately too. I don't want to keep everyone, but for example, the alerts the alert slider on that page. I think this one is quite unique tool.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, the thing is you can't be creating a whole new template for every tool because as we were talking, every tool has its specificity, right? So we would find a solution but for instance, for the toolbox, you would use a collapsible panel, right? And in each panel, you would reference these 8 tools. And I'm not sure for the alerts. You would have to think, are these links static? I mean, they don't change from year to year, from day to day, or do they change?
yeah, we reference different alerts as they come up, but they're linked to another page. I think it's actually internal and then external.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you could use the, let me go back to a tool. Maybe you could use the buttons here to reference the alerts.
Okay.
Or even you
Yes.
can even use the organizational list, for instance, because here you can even add the logo there. I think you had the logo of here, FuseNet, of FOA. You can even,
Yeah, the issue is that the one which in currently we have is automatic, but when you
mm-hmm,
but right now it's on all manual. So that's
mm-hmm,
different because this automatically pull up from the system, but when you suggest the way, then brand needs to be one by one manually.
mm-hmm. I see. I just think this is more of a say the content consideration from your side to decide what to keep and how to illustrate it. Um, I'm sure we have on no page automatic external links generated, a widget for automatically generated external links.
And
Mm-hmm.
what we can do is that because there's a view, so which means we need to create the content type alert and content type result, and then let us to add the content, and then your side you can create a view to bring this whole alert and then resources, um, and then put into tool page.
Create a view. What would that be like an iframe or?
View is like when you're using the Drupal, you can put up some content together. Like when you make a blog, the listing of blog is a view, right? So they can ask
Mm-hmm.
the system to bring all blogs and show the same thing. So here in the alert, we have alert content type, and then Brandon adds each alert, and then the system will bring that alert is like a list of alert, like what you are doing in the blog, but that a different visualization. In the blog, the list of blog is just listing, right? But this one is
Mm-hmm.
the slider, automatically moving slider. So there's different visualization.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but that's a whole new feature altogether. I mean, it's something that we didn't consider until now. It's something that wasn't part of the.
We showed this one before, but
Mhm.
um, I'm not sure this hub is within the 10 pages or not.
Yeah, I
The
don't think
hub,
so.
what we decided when, if you remember, when we looked at when we inventoried the pages on the website, is that this hub would use the tools template. So you would have to make this content fit into a tool template, either by
Yeah.
slightly changing the content or adding more explanations. Because for now, if, for instance, early warning system has no introduction for the user. The user doesn't know how to navigate this page, what this tool or hub shows, right? So that you would have to do in order to add it into
Yes.
a new page.
You can.
And I, yeah, sorry.
Oh no, sorry. You
So
go ahead,
yeah, I
please.
think that in terms of the soft launch for next week, we can do it manually, adding the alert and then resource manually, and then
Hmm.
you will be asked the vitamin team to develop the view for final launch. So I think this is a high priority because the only one whole page is important, right?
Yeah, what I'm trying to flag here is that this new feature wasn't part of the widgets we had listed in the mockups.
Uh,
So I can add it to your feedback and put it on the wish list.
uh,
And then once we're done with implementing the pages we have, you can choose from those wish lists which are a top priority for you. And if this is one, okay, we'll work on this one.
uh,
Okay?
Brandon, are you okay with that?
Yeah. Yes, I think
Yeah,
that sounds
I think we need
good.
to go
I'm
back to
pretty sure we'll come back and
yeah, we need to go back to
prioritize it later,
we need to go back
Mhm.
to
even if it. Yeah.
I think we need to go back to um, Rob about this one because
Uh,
this is a Rob's product.
mm,
Yes.
Let me just one second if I'll try to remember what not the content, the site structure. Yeah, this was the table we worked on to define which page goes into which and how many new types of pages we can build. Because if you remember, we started the project with the current website that needed to be actually redesigned, but we ended up building a lot of whole new pages. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you.
I'm having. Okay, I had a hold on button and I didn't understand why that was. Um, so if you remember, we created this the site structure to remind us how many type of pages we can build in order to make widgets reusable. So as not each individual tool page to have a separate template, right? This is why we went back to the template. Uh, so here.
So I have a quick question, quick idea. So Davina, do you remember about the resource pages? We have a resource content type,
Yes,
and then we
yes.
have a tag on that. So what you can do is that you can
First.
create a resource and tag as two tags, one alert and one of the I don't know hub report. Then we can bring those things to the tools page as a view. So I think that is not that difficult to implement. Uh, what you can do, we can park this one into your wish list. We can put this
Hmm.
in the high priority.
So
So
let
so
okay, let
yeah, so you don't have to
make sure I
yeah,
understand.
so you don't have to create a new content type. Just to use this, we just use resource, and then we can tag the first one is alert, second one is report, hub report. Then you can bring those things into the tools page with the view later. But that thing we need to ask Radu to implement, but it's not that difficult to do.
But you would still add each alert here as a resource.
So if, for example, if there's a whole category, right? We can put the
Hmm.
one of category is alert, another category is a hub report,
Hmm.
and then
No, I get that
uh,
about tagging, but the alerts themselves would have to be introduced here, one by one,
yeah.
as
So
they show up.
yeah, so
Hmm.
this one is a page, right? But what you can create a similar thing as a blog and add it into tools pages. But that thing, we need to talk to Radu about it. But in terms of technology, it's not that difficult to do.
Oh,
Yeah, because we already have a page,
mhm.
so we can easily generate the block from the pages.
The page of the alert,
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah, yeah. I mean the block of alert, block of the hub report, and then we incorporated those two block into hub tool pages.
And what would the alert, let's say, blog page contain?
Oh, okay, so the alert. I think if we go back to the hub page, alert including, I think it's very simple. It's like a, okay, name of alert, where is it from, and then link. I think, and then date. Date is important.
So it would be a listing, an article listing.
This is very similar to article listing.
So actually very similar to, I mean, it's more of a resource listing. Here you would have also the alerts mixed with all these reports. In choosing the category alert, you'll have the listing of the alert.
Yes. And then if you choose
And this one,
the hub report, and you can show all the hub report.
and these ones you want to reference back to in a section, actually, in a section in the tool page.
Yes. If you bring that the list to the tool page, that is better. But if not, and list the link, so user can click it.
You can
User can click
add a link here, add a button here with. Okay, yeah, that would work easier at least. To add a button here with a link to the selection, alert selection from resources.
You see the alerts, and then see hub report, something like, you can change the wording, but then they click, it goes to the first page.
Yeah, I think that would be easier. I mean, it.
But you need to check the route first.
Okay. So I'm checking. I'm noting here simple to check.
Sounds like a good short-term fix. I do.
There's a short-term fix, but for now. But for the
Yes.
future, I guess that Rob want to see those alert and then report in that tool page, not tool resource page.
Yes.
Widget.
Yeah, I think we visit this later for sure, just because I think it is one of the main tools, as I understand it, and important to make sure it adds value.
However, what I want to signal is that this resources pages will come in about, well, the last pages on the website. So we will be able to reference them when the resource pages is done.
Okay, so when is the time? When can we see the resource page?
Well, it will be done by the end of phase 4, so by the big launch. But just to manage your expectations that it's not the next page coming up, so that you will complete the tool page for early warning system.
15th. I mean, can we see this one like around September 15th?
If we prioritize it, I mean, if we maybe switch places with another page, what I'll do is that I want to make sure we have what we promised for the soft launch. And then I'll make a plan for the rest of the pages. I'll run by you and Brandon the pages that are left and the order of importance for you, right? And if resources comes higher in the priority list, we can tackle that. Okay.
So let us track this again when it's time to.
Sure. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So I'll just make a note that on the wish list we should create a new section type with alert report reviews. Okay. Good. So yeah, I think this is the tool that I showed you when we talked for the first time about the tool page implementation. Likewise, it's not finalized, but here, Brandon, if you want, you can add this one as well. So you have the right to add it any type of articles and tools. So even if it was created by us, you can add this one as well. But here you can see how we put the two videos. Yeah, this was for demo purposes, but you can update it if you decide it's priority for you.
Okay, thank you.
Brandon, I will work on this tool page because I need to show.
Oh yes, to Nicola.
Impact team like August 27th.
Okay.
Okay, I won't touch that one then.
But just to go back a bit to the list of content, so here you see you will have editing rights on what's article and what's tool, right?
Okay.
Because while we're still working on the commodities, the events, and the other content types, it's not safe. It's an unsafe construction site.
Hmm.
Okay, so I just start the video recording. Right now it's
Okay.
around